Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is the one that you call Brian Glaze Gibbs going live. I'm trying to go live on YouTube. How you doing? Anybody out there? Thank you for joining me this evening. This is Brian Glaze Gibbs. Anyone that's not familiar with my story, I am Brian Glaze Gibbs. I am going live on YouTube. My story, the Brian Glaze Gibbs story, is a true story of change and redemption. If I, Brian Glaze Gibbs, can change, anybody can change. Why? Because change comes from within. You know what? It's hard for people to change. You know why it's hard for people to change? Because people are so caught up into what other people think, how other people feel about them. You know what? In order to love anybody else, you must first love yourself. You got to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, it doesn't matter what any and everybody else think. You have to love yourself. And don't get caught up into being somebody that you're not. They're trying to impress somebody that don't even know that you even exist. I've been down that road. And guess what? It's a tough road. It's a tough journey. It's hard being who you are, let alone trying to be somebody else. Stop pretending. Get a grip of yourself. Get true identity with self. Get to understand yourself. Sometimes what you have to do, spend quality time with yourself. Opposed to a man want to spend quality time with a woman, or a woman want to spend quality time with a man, spend quality time with yourself. Get to know who and what you are. What is your purpose for being on earth? What is your purpose for being who you are? Distro, how you doing, Glaze? I'm good. I'm good. But anyway, right now, get in touch with yourself. Dig deep, meditate, pray, fast. Like to me right now, people do not understand. When you fast, you'd be surprised the cleanses. Like I went I think a total of probably like 4 days, no water, and the most like 6 days, no food. And I fast and I pray. And you know what I did when I fast and I pray? Keep going, Glaze. You're the same. Keep it. Thank you. But what I did when I fast and I pray, I got a better understanding of who and what I am. I got a better understanding and see the destruction that I caused in life. I seen like where I went wrong at. When you sit back and you able to have that time to see where you went wrong at, that's deep. Life is worth living. And you know the sad part about life? What we do is we put a price tag on life. We put a price tag on time. Queen, you're not lying. Yes, nobody lying. You put a price tag on life. You put a price tag on time. I got a DM, a message yesterday, and somebody asked me, man, Glaze, how do you do it? You work a regular job, yet and still you able to do other things. You know why I do that? I do that for a reason. If I can give corporate America, any company, 40 hours or more of my time a week, why in the heck I can't give myself, invest into myself, invest into my sanity, invest into my heart, invest into my spirituality? Why can't I give myself that opportunity to grow and develop spiritually, physically, mentally? Why? I'm saying if you can invest into a job, take that same 40 hours and invest into yourself. Because if you don't do that, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna lose. Later for that. If you can put 40 hours into a job, if you can put, hours daily into school, put it into yourself, put it into your relationship. That's the difference. You know what we have to do? We have to dig deep. I had to dig deep. I had serious mental illness problem as a kid. And you know what happened? I didn't get the necessary help that I needed back then. And it cost me. It cost me time out of my life that I cannot get back. Why? Because it's too late. But guess what? No, I thought it was too late. It was never too late. Once I got myself together and once I was able to understand who and what I am, and once I was able to understand everything I was going through and the trial and tribulation that I inflicted upon myself, the self-inflicted pain is the worst pain that you can inflict upon anyone. You have to understand why we do the things that we do. You know why we do the things that we do? Because we crying out for help. Even earlier, I spoke on the guy, Tory Lane, when he shot. You know what I'm saying? Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. Not 1 foot, but 2 foot. You know what? It's like, here it is. This individual is going through a lot. And what he's doing is he's seeking help. And it's sad that a queen, that our black queen had to be the victim of this man's sickness, of this man's illness. It's sad that Megan Thee Stallion, who's the victim, sit back and think about it. She is the victim. She's suffering. Where's the love that we have for that sister? Why are not we not giving her the love that she deserved? Why not we are comforting her and trying to understand her, like why she kept her mouth shut, why she didn't speak up about the situation? You know, because everybody get caught up into that word, snitch, snitch. You know, everybody get caught up into, oh, I'm not going to say anything, or I'm going to protect these individuals. How can you protect people that don't protect themselves? That's the difference or whatever. I had to learn the hard way. I went through all of that. I became Brian Glaze Gibbs before I was the age of 24. At 24, from the age of 13 to 24, I was Glaze. You know, I was Glaze. I had a dual identity. Brian Gibbs became Glaze. Why? Because Glaze wanted to be what? Cool. Glaze wanted to be down. Glaze wanted to be acceptable. Glaze was a fool. Glaze was a sucker. Glaze was an individual that took shortcut, that wants something that he became something that he wasn't. Why? You saw the video you did on Megan, Tony, okay, Tory situation. It was good. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. What I'm just trying to do is this, guys. My story, and this is who I am. This is my story. Beyond Lucky, the Brian Glaze Gibbs story. This is my ministry. I am not your traditional minister. You're not going to hear me, reading scripture from the Bible or telling you about God this, God that. God want us to be law-abiding citizen. God want us to be free individual. God want us to do it right the first time. In order to receive your copy of this book right here, email me, Brian, Brian Gibbs, Gibbs 1201 at yahoo.com. Right now this is the blueprint. This is the blueprint to keep my child, your grandchild, your great-great-grandchild, somebody else's child, your child best friend out of that multi-billion-dollar prison system. That prison system is the new modern day what? Slavery. And the difference is, once upon a time, they used to hold us in bondage, in slavery, because of what? The color. That color of your skin, your complexion was the connection. So they kept you in bondage because of this. And they made us whole. They made us slavery. Now what happened is slavery stopped existing, but it still exists. Now the new slavery, the Jim Crow law, is money. They will put any and everybody incarcerated for that mighty green dollar. Don't be tricked. Don't be hoodwinked, people. Wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee or whatever. But still, it go back to the basic principle. It go back to us. It go back to each and every individual in your thought process. I challenge each and every one to do critical thinking for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, before you do anything, ask yourself the question, what is the outcome going to be? What I'm about to do, is it going to bring me pain or is it going to bring me pleasure? Let's sit back and think about it. If it's going to bring you pain, that pain is not only going to affect you as an individual. That pain going to affect, if you're a child, it's going to affect your mother. It's going to affect your father. It's going to affect your grandmother, your grandfather, your brother, your sister. As you get older, it go down a trickle down effect. It's going to affect your girlfriend, who might turn out to be your wife. It's going to affect your children. It's going to affect your grandchildren. You know what? So when you sit back and think about it, is it worth it? No, it's not worth it, man. Use this. We got this for a reason. Use it to do critical thinking. Use it to build. Use it to do what we need to do to be what we need to be. Like I say, hi, Glaze. Kafa Jolly. How you doing, man? One love. One love. But we got this for a reason. And at times we don't utilize it. Trust me, plenty of time I did not use my brain. And what they say, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Apply yourself, man. Sit back and think about it. Life to me is common sense. But you know what? How can it be common if we don't have sense? How can it be common if we're not making sense? What we do as human beings, we overthink the situation. Why we overthink the situation? Because we think we smarter than what we are. No. Go back to the basic principle. Sit back and think about it. Ask yourself that quality question. If my action is going to bring me pain or it's going to bring me pleasure? And if it's going to bring me pain, I can't be selfish. If it's just me by myself and I have nobody else in this free world, I have nobody else in the society, then okay, cool. You can be that selfish individual. But when you have other people that love and genuine care about you, you can't be selfish or you shouldn't be selfish. Sit back and think about it, man. Have that word consideration, understanding. To me, whatever you put into it, that's what you're going to get out of it. No prayer, no power. Less prayer, less power. More prayer, more power. Much prayer, much power. That's what we have to do. Get back to the basic principle. Pray, trust, and believe. And you know what? Take care of our brother and our sister. Take care of the mankind, the womankind. Take care of our princess. That's what it's all about. You know why? Because once again, it's not about you. It's not about me, especially in a relationship. If you're in a relationship, if you're in a marriage, guess what? It's not about you. It's about what it's going to take to make my wife happy. What is it going to take to please my wife? You know, here it is right now. Despite she might want to do something that I don't want to do it anyway. Because once again, it's not about you. What it is, it's all about how do you make other happy. Wife, the same thing with your husband. Do whatever it takes to make him happy. Right now is, guess what? That's supposed to be your king, just like you're supposed to be his queen. Don't stop overnight. Whatever it took to get him or whatever it took to get her, continue to apply that method. Continue to keep that fire burning. If that fire in your relationship is going dead, you know what? No. Don't let that fire go dead. Put wood in that fire. If you need to be cheap, go to the gas station, get some gasoline, throw some gasoline on that fire, make it go up in flame. Because that's what it's all about. Queen Ellie, thank you very much. Thank you for your donation. You are doing such. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, to me, YouTube is different. Social media is different. I am not tech savvy. But the bottom line is right now, this is my ministry, and this is what we have afforded to us. Social media. Follow me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Brian Glaze Gibbs. You know what? I'm coming out with a lot of different content, and I'm working hard. Even follow me on my Instagram channel, Brian Glaze Gibbs. To me, my story is a true story of change and redemption. And as I say when I first started this message, check me out. This is my book, Beyond Lucky, the Brian Glaze Gibbs story. If I, Brian Glaze Gibbs, can change, anybody can change. You know why, folks? Order your signed copy. Order your autographed copy of my true story. It talk about the good. It talk about the bad. It talk about the ugly. You know why? Because once again, I'm not trying to candy coat anything. Here it is right now. I've been through hell and back. And it's only because of the grace of God. He heard me crying. I mean, loud and clear. I was crying. I got tired and sick of tired of spending my life in and out of jail. You know what? When I was a kid and I was committing crime, I used to have a dream. I used to wake up in my apartment in Cyprus. I used to wake up out of bed and I used to run. I used to run from the door. I used to run, right now, halfway naked, at my Cypress Hill project in Brooklyn, New York. 1266 Sutter Avenue. Brooklyn, New York, zip code 11208. The phone number, I still remember after all these years, 718-827-4425. 718-827-4425. I used to wake up from having a nightmare, thinking about they trying to arrest me, thinking about I'm going to jail. I used to wake up and run out of that bedroom and run to the door. You know what I'm saying? And open the door and running out. That my brother, my sister, my pop, my moms had to stop me. What's wrong? What's going on? Why is these demons attacking you? What's going on with your life? Because guess what? In my subconscious, it wasn't clear. It was clouded. It was full of negativity. It was full of nonsense. It was full of, because I knew in my heart and my mind that guess what? If I see a victim, if I knew I could rob somebody, if I knew I can burglarize their apartment, if I knew I can sell them fake jewelry, if I knew I can sell them drugs, if I knew I could do anything for that almighty dollar, I was willing, able, and ready. And even though right now my subconscious knew it was wrong, and I knew the outcome, I knew they was gonna come and handcuff me, put me in bondage, and sent me back to jail, or in other words, slavery. But guess what? Whose fault was that? That was my fault because I want shortcut. I wanted to take the easy way out. It's no shortcut in life, folks. It's easy to do the wrong thing. It's hard to do the right thing. Douglas Glasper, thank you, thank you. Love the book, man. You know what? Go to Amazon, leave an honest review. That's what I ask people. When they read my story, leave an honest review. Who am I to judge? A lot of people want to judge me. Oh, Glaze, you did this, you did that, and you made a deal with the United States government. You know what? Yes, I did. I made a deal with the United States government. But guess what? Not a living soul will ever tell you that Glaze put me in jail, that Glaze came to my trial, I came to court and testified against me. No, that's not going to happen. Yeah, I sat down with the United States government. At one point in time, they tried to give me one murder a week for a year and a half from June 22nd, 1987 until November 10th, 1988. The Brooklyn and Queens homicide detective had a task force, and they stated that I, Brian Glaze Gibbs, averaged one murder a week from the time I got acquitted until the time I got arrested. And you know what? Oh, wait a minute here. Y'all not gonna take and put every unsolved murder that happened within the 5 boroughs on me. That's not gonna happen. So yes, did I sit down? Did I talk to them? And then I made a deal? Yeah, I made a deal. Okay, here it is right now. I'm not proud about it because at once upon a time, that was my life. I was that individual. I was that much invested into it. You know how people invest into a 401k plan? I was invested into the street life. You know what I'm saying? I was fully invested. From the age of 13, when I was selling fake jewelry, when I was burglarizing, when me and my crew used to went to Linden Plaza, what they call the land, and we used to climb the terrace. We used to go to a friend, or we used to befriend people that act like we their friend in order to get the opportunity to use their terrace, to climb for their terrace, 2-story over, 3-story up, to get into a house to rob it for all it's valuable. You know what? 13, 14, 15 years old kids doing that. Even what in the hell? Why in the hell? Where in the hell did we get that type of mindset? Whoa, wait a minute. Thing to make you wonder. You know, because once again, you want that fast money. You want that fast dollar. You want to be down. You want to be cool. Why couldn't we be like every other law-abiding citizen? Get up, punch the clock, do a 9 to 5, and work and have a decent livelihood. You know, it's no excuse. When I sit back and think about some of my friends that was able to get summer job, I was amazed. Because what we did was, me and my siblings, we went and applied for summer job. And do you know what happened? We got denied. We live in one of the worst projects in Brooklyn, New York at the time, Cypress Hill houses. And my mother worked for the New York Telephone Company. And when we went to apply for a job, we got denied. Because you know what they say? My mother made too much. Huh? How did my mother made too much? Somebody sent me a question that I slept well after my first murder. You know what? Listen, I didn't sleep at all. You know, I'm not going to even lie to you. I didn't sleep at all. How in the hell you can sleep, you know, right now when you just took somebody's life? I didn't sleep at all. Even though I was a sick individual that needed psychological help, Even though back then we didn't even understand it, even growing up in a concrete jungle, participating, shooting out one another, black on black crime. It was PTSD way back when. And we didn't even understand that. How could we understand that? We was at war with one another. We was at war with our geographical and our nationality neighbors. For what? What were we accomplishing? While we was at war over nothing. Gigi Vay, what was one of the hardest things you had to adjust to? Even right now, I didn't see that question full, but once again, what was the hardest thing that I had to adjust to? I had to adjust to when I changed. I had to adjust to the death of my beloved mother, and I'll be dropping a piece in regards to that. I had to adjust to that. Life, what the most important person in your life. Even right now, getting out, knowing that right now is I'm about to be released, knowing that I'm about to be free. It's like it was kind of scary. For the first time in my life, I got afraid when I knew that I was going to be released. Why did I become afraid? Because here it is right now is, what if somebody violate my family member or myself? What if somebody broke into my house, apartment? What if somebody, disrespect my child or disrespect my wife or disrespect my family? I, Brian Glaze Gibbs, was so accustomed to getting my gun, putting on my bulletproof vest, going looking for the target, going looking for the enemy, and destroy and destruct, getting rid of them. And here it is for the very first time. Guess what happened? I started thinking when I got out, if that was to happen to me, what would I do? I would have to be like every law-abiding citizen, pick up the phone, every taxpayer, and pick up the phone and allow the law enforcement, the police department to do their job. That was a scary feeling for me, because when you become accustomed to taking law matter or anything to your own hand, you know what? Now you have to relinquish that power and give to somebody else. Shy Santana, what did you do your first day out? What did I do my first day out? I was on a natural high, man. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I was free. I couldn't believe that I, Brian Glaze Gibbs, was free. So to me, like, I'm walking around basically in cloud nine, man. It didn't matter when I got out, where did they put me? They could have put me on Jupiter. They could have put me on Mars. They could have put me on Venus. They could have put me on the moon. Now I know how the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. felt when he said, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. I was free. So wherever they put me at, I was determined that I was going to be successful. I was determined that I was not going to be a statistic and return back to jail. People do not understand that, man. That jail is a revolving door. It's like that been happening to me from the age of 16 up until the age of 23. I was in and out, in and out, in and out. And you know what? Guess what? I was inflicted that type of pain upon myself. Why? It's not that I didn't know no better. I knew better. But yet still I was infatuated. I was infatuated with that street high. Despite I didn't get high. You know what I'm saying? Despite I wasn't drinking alcohol. Here it is. I was intoxicated by money. I was intoxicated by women. I was intoxicated by materialistic things. And you know what? It destroyed me. It took a lot of things away from me that I cannot get back. It took my mother from me. You know what? How was HDM? I heard crazy story. Damn, Shy Santana. Yes, HDM was a monster. HDM was HDM. It was on Rikers Island. Rikers Island is probably one of the worst jail, one of the worst shitty jail in America. And anything and everything go. I can remember the first time I was on Rikers Island, I got beat up and robbed. I got my sneakers taken one time. I got my shoes, my coat taken or whatever. And to me, I can remember the very first time I was on Rikers Island, I was in my cell when the door closed, boom, crying under that itchy blanket, saying, ooh, I want to go home, I can't take it. But you feel like, I called my mother the next day, Mom, you got to get me out of here. They're going to kill me. And my mother would bail me out. My mother would get me the best lawyer each and every time that I got into it. So you know what? Did I change? No. I went home fronting. When guys like, oh man, yo, you survived Rikers Island. So now when I'm getting out, I got a bop in my step, in my walk. I'm thinking I'm cool. I'm thinking I'm tough. But within me is coming out of me, slapping the living daylight out of me. Listen here, man. Didn't you forget that we was in there crying like a little girl? How soon did we forget? Queen Ellie, this is so cool. We are talking to Glaze. Nah, like I said right now, listen, you know what? Call me, contact me. I'm open book. Ricky Sky, Salute King, salute to you from Brownsville. Brownsville never ran, never will. But you know what? Listen, folks, here it is right now. What I want you to do is share my story, subscribe to my YouTube channel, get people to follow my story. I'm not here trying to brag about anything. I was a sick individual. I was a lost individual. I was brought up in the church. I used to sing on the choir. I used to attend Sunday school each and every Sunday. I used to be on the usher board. How did I went astray? How did I lost my soul? How did I lost my spirit? How did I became this sick individual? You know what? Because of a lot of people like to blame it on the environment, saying that you're a product of your environment. I agree to disagree. I agree to disagree. I can't pronounce your name, Auntie Fresh. Thank you saying this. Okay, I appreciate you. I appreciate you too. I appreciate anybody that's out there taking the time to follow my page. Subscribe, hit the like button. Anybody interested? Like I tell you right now, this is my story. The Beyond Lucky, the Brian Glaze Gibbs story on crack, money, murder, and redemption. I can honestly say, if Brian Glaze Gibbs can change, anybody can change. It's never too late. Sit back and think about it. It's never too late to change, man. It's never too late to change. Even right now, when I got out, and I remember meeting with the probation department, and I can remember them telling me, as time went on, like they betted how long I will last in the free society. One of them betted that I will last 45 days. One of them betted that I would last 90 days. And as time went on, and I can remember telling them guys when I got out, listen, I am not going back. I say, even if I have to go around to different garbage cans and collect aluminum cans, I know Brian Glaze Gibbs, can collect 1,000,000 cans in 1 year. If I go to all the parks, if I go through all the garbage can within that state, I know within 9 months, I can collect 1,000,000 cans. 1,000,000 cans times 5 cents is $50,000. I know I can go out there and make me $50,000 a year by collecting cans. So that's what it takes to make sure I'm able to make a clean cut, decent living. That's what I was gonna do. These folks looked at me. I didn't know it back then, but as time went on, when they see that I changed, when they lost their bet at 45 days, yeah, he'll be back in 45 days. When they bet it in 90 days, oh, he'll be back in 90 days. Within a year and a half, I can remember talking to the United States probation officer, and I can remember she telling me, said, we didn't give you a chance in hell. When you told us that, if it take you to go out there and collect aluminum cans, that you never going back, we'll laugh. We look at you and we laugh. And now, like she say, I had to sit back and read your profile, read your record, and understand who and what you are. And you know what they say? They said, look, they find it remarkable. What they found remarkable? Because I stand steadfast on my belief. I changed. I lost the most important person in my life, my beloved mother, who was my mother, my father, my big sister, my best friend. When she died, when I was incarcerated, and I couldn't go out there and pay my final respect to her because of my stupidity, because of my foul behavior, because of my dumbness, guess what? No, I had to change. And sometimes, like I tell people, change comes from within. Change comes from within. Sometimes it takes pain. Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to go up. And to me, regardless of what, when God opened that gate and gave me, Brian Glaze Gibbs, another opportunity to be free, I refuse to allow my mother, Dorothy Gibbs, you know what I'm saying, upbringing and teaching to be in vain. I refuse. And that's it different. I don't care what man say, it's what God say. The bottom line is don't let nobody stereotype you. Don't let nobody put no label upon you. Always remember, guess what? You are who you are. If you want to be anybody, you can be whoever you want to be. Who would ever thought that a black man would be president of the United States? You know, regardless of what. Look what happened. It happened. So to me, like I say right now, is my story is my ministry. If I can change, anybody can change. I've been free 23 years. 23 years. When I walk out of there, like I told you, the United States government gave me 45 days. They betted against me. They gave me 90 days that I would not survive, that I would continue that vicious, revolving door in and out of jail. You know what? I proved them wrong. Even now, they like, man, you can be a textbook. Textbook for what? I am a textbook for myself. I'm a textbook in letting people know, guess what? If I can change, anybody can change. I am not proud of my past. Everything I did from A to Z, I am not proud. But I'm here standing today to let you know that I am Brian Glaze Gibbs, and it took pain to change. If I can change, anybody can change. If I can say no to the prison system, no to drug, no to anything, anybody can change. Once again, to order my signed copy of my book, The Brian Glaze Gibbs Story, a true story of change and redemption, email me, Brian, Brian, Gibbs, Gibbs 1201 at yahoo.com. Bless me. You know what I'm saying? Bless me. All my information is there. You know, if you want to bless me, if you want to do a donation, guess what? I am open. I am an open book. DM me. Follow me on Instagram, Brian Glaze Gibbs. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Right now, what I'm going to give it to you is real talk. Real talk from the street from Brian Glaze Gibbs. One love. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for your time. Queen Ellie, thank you very much. One love. Brian Glaze Gibbs. Ah.